next, CNN finally taking action against its star anchor, Chris Cuomo, pulling him from his own show yesterday. This comes after stunning revelations from the New York Attorney General's office and her investigation into Cuomo's brother, ousted Governor Andrew Cuomo. So CNN put out a statement saying these documents point to a greater level of involvement in his brother's efforts than we previously knew. All this coming less than 4 months after his brother resigned following a report that found he sexually harassed 11 women. CNN says Christopher Cuomo is going to be out indefinitely. Joining me right now is Media Research Center Vice President Dan Gainor. Dan, thanks very much for being here this morning. Your reaction to what CNN is doing?
Well, I'm not surprised that they took action, but I don't think this is the final action. Indefinite suspension guarantees the story stays on the front page, and that's the last thing CNN wants. I think it gives Chris Cuomo an option to resign and get out of the news and sort of walk away from this. But there's no guarantee that this is permanent. CNN is indefinitely suspended Jeffrey Toobin. He's back on the network, and frankly, he's back on the network exactly while they were announcing that that Cuomo was off.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, what do you make of what Chris Cuomo did? According to these text messages that the AG of New York released, he said he had a line on the wedding girl. If Ronan has nothing better than Boylan, then that's a great sign. Talking to Melissa DeRosa, the governor's aide, your thoughts on what specifically he did to help his brother?
I mean, the fact that he was doing digging into the accusers of his brother is just astonishing. It's a wild violation of journalistic ethics. You add the context that he himself was accused of sexual harassment in September, and this puts, I would think, this puts women at CNN really in an uncomfortable position. If they go out publicly and criticize the network, they're going toe-to-toe with Jeff Zucker, who runs it, and going after their most popular anchor. But if they don't, then they're being told that sexual harassment doesn't matter to the network. So it's both a sex harassment scandal and a journalistic scandal, and it doesn't even end at CNN. He was talking about how that MSNBC people were basically regurgitating his talking points, word for word.
Yeah, that's right. KT, jump in here.
I guess this just points out the hypocrisy of the left. And it's not just a CNN issue or an MSNBC issue. It's do one thing, say another thing. And so they talk about women's rights and all the rest while they're doing something like this and covering it up with sexual harassment. So I think it speaks to a much bigger problem in society where it's do what I say, don't do what I do.
Yeah. Dan, your reaction?
Well, I mean, I think this is KT's spot on. And it's not just even in journalism. It's particularly in politics. We saw it all throughout COVID. The president on down, the politicians refusing to mask when they tell us all to mask, going to places when they tell us all to be locked down. But we expect politicians to lie. I think that goes with the job. But we expect journalists to hold to a higher standard. He stepped all over the Society of Professional Journalists Code of Ethics. He's doing digging on women who are accusing his brother. I think it's astonishing that they haven't taken action before this.
Well, I mean, look, for 4 years, they told us that Donald Trump colluded, and they just got that story from the left. It was a made-up story. Dan, do you think CNN will get less political once it's acquired by Discovery? Are you expecting that it ever goes back to news rather than a political channel?
Well, I don't think they know how to. I mean, they would have to literally clean house, get rid of all their anchors, get rid of a lot of their support news staff. They're just not going to do that. Okay. And then if they did, would people watch it? And I'm not sure that they would in this environment.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good point. Dan, thanks very much. We'll keep watching.